Welcome, dear traveler, to a gentle journey through time and mist, where ancient secrets whisper softly in the night breeze, and forgotten civilizations of Asia await your peaceful discovery. Find yourself in a comfortable position, letting your body sink deeply into rest. Feel the weight of the modern world melting away, like morning dew disappearing into earth. As you close your eyes, allow your breathing to slow and deepen. Breathe in slowly, filling your lungs with calm, and breathe out, releasing all tension and worry. With each gentle breath, you're drifting backward through centuries, through millennia, to times when mysterious kingdoms flourished across the vast landscapes of ancient Asia. Tonight, we will wander together through 20 lost civilizations, each one a shimmering jewel in history's crown. From the misty mountains of the Himalayas, to the gentle shores of forgotten islands, from desert oases that once bloomed with life, to river valleys where ancient peoples built wonders that time has quietly reclaimed. Let your breathing become even deeper now, in and out, as we prepare to visit the Indus Valley, where sophisticated cities thrived 4,000 years ago. We'll drift through the lost kingdoms of Central Asia, along the Silk Road where merchants once carried precious goods and whispered tales. We'll explore the mysterious Khmer Empire, the forgotten realms of ancient Burma, and island civilizations that disappeared beneath tropical vines. Each breath carries you deeper into tranquility, deeper into the mists of time. These ancient peoples lived, loved, built magnificent temples and cities, created art and music, and though their civilizations have faded into legend, their stories remain, waiting to soothe your spirit as you rest. Feel yourself becoming lighter, more peaceful, as if floating on a gentle cloud above the ancient Asian landscape. The stress of today dissolves completely, replaced by wonder and serenity. You are safe, you are calm, you are ready to discover these lost worlds that time forgot? Breathe deeply, and let the journey begin. Chapter 1. Angkor Wat, Temple City of the Khmer. Breathe deeply, and feel yourself floating gently through the warm, humid air of ancient Cambodia. The year is 1113, and below you spreads one of the most magnificent sights the world has ever known. Angkor Wat, the temple city of the mighty Khmer Empire, rising from the emerald jungle like a stone prayer reaching toward heaven. As you drift closer, notice how the morning mist clings to the towering spires, 5 lotus bud towers that pierce the golden dawn sky. The largest religious monument ever built by human hands, stretching across 400 acres of sacred ground. Listen to the gentle splash of water in the vast moat that surrounds this wonder. 650 feet wide and filled with sacred waters that mirror the temple's perfect symmetry. Feel the cool stone beneath your feet as you walk slowly across the causeway. Each step echoes softly in the pre-dawn silence. The massive sandstone blocks, each one carefully carved and fitted without mortar, have stood here for nearly 9 centuries, weathering monsoons and time itself. Notice how the ancient Khmer builders aligned every corridor, every tower, with the movements of the stars and planets, creating not just a temple, but a cosmic map carved in stone. King Suryavarman VII, the great ruler who commissioned this marvel, envisioned it as Mount Meru, the center of the universe in Hindu cosmology, where gods and mortals could meet. The temple faces west, toward the setting sun, honoring Vishnu, the preserver god to whom it was dedicated. Feel the spiritual energy that still flows through these ancient halls, where thousands of monks once chanted their prayers, their voices echoing through corridors lined with intricate bas-reliefs. Run your fingers along the warm stone walls, carved with scenes from Hindu epics. The Ramayana, the Mahabharata, stories of gods and demons, battles between good and evil, all told in exquisite detail across 3,000 square meters of carved galleries. See how the morning light plays across the faces of Asparas, celestial dancers frozen in stone, their gentle smiles welcoming you into their eternal dance. The Khmer Empire at its height ruled over much of Southeast Asia, from the South China Sea to the Bay of Bengal. Angkor was its beating heart, a city of over 1 million people, making it the largest pre-industrial urban center in the world. Imagine the sounds that once filled these spaces: the chanting of priests, the rustle of silk robes, the gentle splash of fountains, the distant calls of merchants in the great city beyond. But time flows like the Mekong River, and gradually, the jungle began to reclaim this wonder. Vines crept over walls, roots pushed through foundations, and for centuries, Angkor Wat slept beneath a green blanket of tropical growth, waiting, dreaming, until explorers would rediscover its majesty. Feel yourself growing more peaceful, more relaxed, as you absorb the timeless serenity of this place. The ancient stones seem to whisper secrets of devotion, of human achievement, of the eternal cycle of creation and rest. Your breathing becomes deeper, more rhythmic, matching the eternal pulse of this sacred space. As the sun climbs higher, casting longer shadows through the temple corridors, you feel ready to continue your journey, deeper into the mysteries of ancient Asia. Let the peace of Angkor Wat settle into your bones, and prepare to drift onward, to our next destination. Chapter 2. The Terracotta Army. Eternal guardians, breathe slowly, and feel yourself drifting northward through time, across the misty mountains and ancient valleys of China, to the year 210 BCE, where one of history's most extraordinary secrets lies buried beneath the fertile soil near Xi'an. The Terracotta Army, 8,000 life-sized warriors standing in eternal formation, guardians of China's first emperor. As you descend gently into the underground chambers, notice how the cool earth embraces you. The air here is still and reverent, filled with the weight of over 2,000 years. Before you stretches an impossible sight, row upon row of clay soldiers, each one unique, each one crafted with meticulous care by the finest artisans of the Qin dynasty. Their faces emerge from the shadows, stern and noble, ready for battle that will never come. Feel the packed earth beneath your feet as you walk slowly between the ranks. These warriors were created to serve Emperor Qin Shi Huang in the afterlife, the same ruler who unified China, built the first version of the Great Wall, and standardized everything from currency to the width of cartwheels. He believed that death was merely another realm to conquer, and so he commanded an entire army to follow him into eternity. Look closely at the faces surrounding you. No two are alike. Each warrior bears individual features, different mustaches, varying expressions, some young and eager, others weathered by imagined campaigns. The sculptors worked from life, modeling these clay soldiers after real members of the imperial army, capturing not just their appearance, but something deeper: their spirit, their dedication, their unwavering loyalty. Notice the incredible detail in their armor. Each breastplate, each scale, each buckle rendered with perfect precision. Some warriors wear heavy armor and carry spears. Others are archers with crossbows. Still others are cavalry soldiers who once stood beside life-sized terracotta horses. The craftsmanship is breathtaking, a testament to the skill and patience of ancient Chinese artisans. When these warriors were first created, they were not the gray clay figures you see today. They were painted in brilliant colors, reds and blues, greens and purples, gold and silver details that gleamed in torchlight. Imagine them as they once were: a rainbow army standing at attention, their painted eyes seeming to follow movement, their colorful banners and weapons creating a magnificent display of imperial power. The Emperor's Tomb complex covers over 22 square miles, making it larger than many modern cities. Beyond the famous warrior pits, archaeologists have discovered bronze chariots, acrobats and musicians, court officials and stable hands, an entire miniature world created to serve the emperor's needs in the afterlife. Even rivers of mercury were installed, flowing eternally through a bronze map of his empire. Feel yourself growing more peaceful, as you absorb the profound silence of this place. These warriors have stood guard for over 2 millennia, patient and unwavering, through the rise and fall of dynasties, through wars and peace, through seasons beyond counting. Their dedication transcends time itself, a meditation on loyalty and service that soothes the spirit. The discovery of this army in 1974 was purely by chance. Local farmers digging a well struck something hard. What they thought might be an old pot turned out to be the head of a warrior, leading to one of the greatest archaeological discoveries in history. For centuries, these guardians had waited in darkness, protecting their emperor's eternal rest, dreaming perhaps of the day they would again see light. As you stand among these silent sentinels, let their calm presence wash over you. They have found perfect peace in their eternal duty, no longer concerned with the struggles of the living world. Their faces speak of acceptance, of finding purpose in service, of the deep rest that comes from knowing one's place in the grand design. The soft shadows play across their features, creating an almost living quality in the dim light. You can almost hear the whisper of ancient silk banners, the distant echo of ceremonial drums, the quiet breathing of an army that needs no sleep, no food, no comfort beyond the honor of their eternal watch. Breathe slowly, and let their timeless serenity flow into your own spirit. Feel yourself becoming as peaceful as these clay guardians, as still, as content in this moment of rest. Let that tranquil energy settle deep into your bones, preparing you for the next wonder that awaits. Chapter 3. Mohenjo-Daro, City of the Indus. Breathe deeply, and let yourself drift westward through the gentle currents of time, to the fertile valley of the Indus River, where 4,500 years ago, one of humanity's most sophisticated civilizations flourished in peaceful harmony. Mohenjo-Daro, the mound of the dead, though in its golden age it pulsed with vibrant life, a marvel of urban planning that would not be matched for millennia. Feel the warm Pakistani sun on your shoulders as you walk slowly through streets laid out with mathematical precision. The year is 2500 BCE, and you are witnessing something extraordinary, a city designed not by kings or priests, but by engineers and planners who understood the art of civilized living. Notice how every street runs perfectly straight, intersecting at right angles, creating a grid system so advanced that modern city planners still admire its elegance. The brick beneath your feet tells a story of incredible organization, each one fired to identical specifications, each one bearing the same proportions, 4:2:1, a ratio that speaks of standardized manufacturing across an empire that stretched for hundreds of miles. These are not the rough stones of other ancient cities, but precisely crafted building blocks that have endured for 45 centuries. Listen to the gentle sound of water flowing through covered drains, running beneath every street, carrying waste away from homes with an efficiency that would not be seen again until Roman times. The Indus people understood something profound about public health, about the connection between clean water and human well-being. Every house had its own private well, its own bathroom with sophisticated drainage, luxuries that even wealthy Romans would not enjoy for another 2,000 years. Walk with me to the Great Bath, a magnificent structure at the heart of the city. Descend the perfectly fitted steps into the rectangular pool, lined with bitumen to make it waterproof. Feel the cool water that once served ritual purposes we can only imagine. Perhaps purification ceremonies took place here, or seasonal celebrations honoring the life-giving Indus River. The acoustics are perfect, designed to carry the sound of chanting or prayer across the water's surface. Notice the remarkable absence of palaces or temples. Unlike other ancient civilizations, Mohenjo-Daro seems to have been a society of equals. The houses vary in size, but even the smallest have the same amenities as the largest: private wells, drainage systems, courtyards open to the sky. It's as if the entire city was designed around the principle that every citizen deserved comfort and dignity. In the marketplace, imagine merchants displaying goods from across the known world. Carnelian beads from Gujarat, silver from Afghanistan, gold from southern India. The Indus people were master traders, their ships sailing down the river to the Arabian Sea, carrying cotton textiles, the world's first, and returning with precious materials from distant lands. Their standardized weights and measures, made of polished stone, ensured fair trading across vast distances. The craftsmanship here is breathtaking. Seals carved from steatite bear images of unicorns and bulls, tigers and elephants, accompanied by a script that remains one of history's great mysteries. These elegant symbols, flowing like poetry across the stone, may hold the key to understanding this peaceful civilization, but for now they keep their secrets, adding to the serene mystery of this place. Feel the evening breeze carrying the scent of the Indus River, wide and brown and life-giving. The people here lived in harmony with its rhythms, building their city on a massive platform to protect against floods, creating a civilization that lasted for over 800 years without apparent warfare or conflict. Their weapons were tools, their monuments were public baths and granaries, their legacy one of peaceful prosperity. As twilight settles over the ancient streets, notice how the city seems to breathe with contentment. The Indus civilization eventually faded, perhaps due to climate change or shifting river courses, but it left behind a vision of what human society could be: organized yet egalitarian, prosperous yet peaceful, advanced yet sustainable. The archaeological site today sits quietly in the Pakistani countryside, its secrets slowly being revealed by patient excavation. But in your mind's eye, you can see it as it was, bustling with merchants and artisans, children playing in courtyards, families gathering for evening meals. A civilization that achieved something remarkable: the art of living well together. Let the profound peace of Mohenjo-Daro settle into your spirit. This was a place where human ingenuity served human happiness, where technology enhanced rather than dominated daily life, where the rhythm of the great river provided a steady heartbeat for a society in perfect balance. Breathe slowly, and carry this vision of harmony with you, as we prepare to journey onward, to another lost wonder of ancient Asia. Chapter 4. Hampi. The Forgotten Empire. Breathe gently, and let yourself drift southward through the warm air of India, to the Deccan Plateau where ancient granite boulders rise like sleeping giants from red earth. Here lies Hampi, once the magnificent capital of the Vijayanagara Empire, now a dreamscape of ruins scattered across a mystical landscape that seems touched by the gods themselves. Feel the smooth warmth of sun-heated stone beneath your feet as you walk among the remnants of what was once the world's second-largest medieval city. The year is 1500 CE, and around you bustles a metropolis of 500,000 souls. Merchants from Persia and Portugal, Arabia and China, all drawn to this glittering jewel of South India, where diamonds and spices, silk and gold flowed like rivers through busy bazaars. Listen to the gentle echo of your footsteps in the Vitala temple, where music was carved into stone. The famous stone chariot stands before you, each wheel capable of turning, each horse sculpted with such perfection they seem ready to gallop into the golden sunset. Strike the musical pillars gently, and hear how each one produces a different note, creating melodies that have resonated for 5 centuries. The Virupaksha temple rises majestically ahead, its towering gopuram reaching toward the endless blue sky. This sacred space has been continuously worshipped for over 1,000 years, making it one of India's oldest functioning temples. Feel the cool shadows within its halls, where oil lamps flicker like stars, and the scent of jasmine and sandalwood drifts on the evening breeze. Wander through the royal enclosure, where the Vijayanagara kings once held court. The Lotus Mahal stands like a dream made manifest, its Indo-Islamic architecture blending Hindu and Muslim styles in perfect harmony. Each arch frames the landscape like a painting. Each dome catches the light like a jewel. This was a civilization that celebrated beauty, that saw art and architecture as expressions of the divine. Notice how the ancient engineers worked with the natural landscape, using the massive granite boulders as foundations, as walls, as integral parts of their architectural vision. The rocks seem to grow from the earth itself, weathered into fantastic shapes by millions of years of wind and rain, creating a backdrop that is both earthly and otherworldly. The Hampi Bazaar stretches before you, once lined with shops selling precious gems and fine textiles. Now grass grows between the stone foundations, and monkeys play where merchants once called their wares. But close your eyes, and you can almost hear the ancient sounds, the jingle of silver anklets, the rustle of silk saris, the musical cadence of Tamil and Telugu voices. From the Matanga Hill, the highest point in Hampi, the entire ruined city spreads below like a vast outdoor museum. The Tungabhadra River curves through the landscape like a silver serpent, its waters reflecting the ancient temples and modern coracle boats with equal serenity. This river has witnessed the rise and fall of empires, yet continues its eternal journey to the sea. The empire fell in 1565, after the catastrophic Battle of Talikota, when a confederation of Muslim sultanates overwhelmed the Hindu kingdom. For 6 months, the victorious armies looted and destroyed, reducing one of the world's greatest cities to magnificent ruins. Yet even in destruction, Hampi retained its magic, its ability to inspire wonder and contemplation. Today, langur monkeys swing through the ruins, peacocks cry from hidden valleys, and the ancient stones seem to pulse with memories of their glorious past. The UNESCO World Heritage Site attracts pilgrims and travelers from around the world, all drawn by the same mystical energy that made this place sacred long before the first temple was built. Feel the profound peace that emanates from these ancient stones. They have witnessed the full cycle of human ambition, the rise of greatness and the acceptance of impermanence. Yet in their enduring presence, there is comfort, a reminder that beauty and devotion leave marks that outlast even the mightiest empires. The sunset paints the granite landscape in shades of gold and rose, transforming the ruins into something ethereal, almost alive. As darkness gently falls, oil lamps begin to flicker in the Virupaksha temple, continuing a tradition that bridges past and present, sacred and eternal. Let the timeless serenity of Hampi settle deep into your soul. This place teaches the art of graceful acceptance, of finding beauty in both creation and dissolution, of understanding that all things pass, but wonder remains. Breathe slowly, and let that ancient wisdom flow through you, as we prepare to journey deeper into the mysteries of lost Asia. Chapter 5. Sukhothai. Dawn of happiness. Breathe peacefully, and let yourself float eastward on gentle monsoon winds, to the heart of ancient Thailand, where lotus ponds reflect golden spires and the air shimmers with tropical warmth. Here lies Sukhothai, whose very name means dawn of happiness, the first truly independent Thai kingdom, where art and spirituality bloomed like sacred lotuses in still water. Feel the soft grass beneath your feet as you walk through Sukhothai Historical Park, where over 200 temple ruins rest in serene harmony with nature. The year is 1250 CE, and you are witnessing the birth of Thai civilization. King Ramkhamhaeng, the great, rules with wisdom and compassion, creating a kingdom where, as his famous stone inscription declares, there is fish in the water and rice in the fields, a land of abundance and peace. The Wat Mahathad rises before you like a meditation made manifest in stone. Its central chedi, graceful and tapering, reaches toward the heavens with perfect proportions. Notice how the Sukhothai architects created their own distinctive style, blending Khmer grandeur with Sri Lankan elegance, producing something uniquely Thai. Buddha images that seem to float rather than sit, their faces serene with the gentle smile that would become Thailand's spiritual signature. Walk slowly around the massive seated Buddha, his hands resting in the earth touching mudra, calling the earth to witness his enlightenment. The bronze has weathered to a soft green patina, but the expression remains timeless, eyes half closed in meditation, lips curved in the faintest suggestion of inner joy. This is the classic Sukhothai Buddha, elongated and graceful, embodying the Thai ideal of spiritual refinement. Listen to the gentle splash of water in the ancient reservoirs. Sukhothai was a hydraulic civilization, its prosperity built on sophisticated water management. Canals and ponds, dikes and moats created a network that controlled flooding, irrigated rice fields, and provided fish for the royal table. The sound of water is everywhere, creating a natural symphony that soothes the spirit and nourishes the land. In the early morning mist, Wat Si Chum emerges like a vision from a dream, Its massive mandap, or square building, houses a colossal seated Buddha, 14 meters tall, whose gentle gaze has watched over this land for 7 centuries. Approach through the narrow entrance, and feel how the architects created a sense of awe, the Buddha's face appearing gradually, overwhelming in its serene majesty. The royal palace area whispers of elegant court life, where King Ramkhamhaeng invented the Thai alphabet, creating the flowing script that would preserve Thai language and literature for generations. Imagine scribes working by lamplight, carefully forming the graceful letters that captured the musical tones of spoken Thai, preserving royal edicts and Buddhist teachings, poetry and chronicles of this golden age. Notice how the temple builders worked in harmony with the natural landscape, positioning chetties to catch the light at dawn and dusk, creating lotus ponds that mirror the spires, planting Bodhi trees whose rustling leaves provide natural music for meditation. This was architecture as spiritual practice, each element designed to inspire contemplation and inner peace. The walking Buddha statues unique to Sukhothai capture movement in bronze, 1 foot raised, robes flowing, the figure seeming to glide rather than walk. These represent the Buddha's return from heaven after teaching his mother, a moment of divine grace frozen in metal. Their elongated proportions and fluid lines embody the Sukhothai aesthetic, where earthly beauty points toward transcendent truth. As evening approaches, the ruins take on an ethereal quality, lotus buds close for the night in the ancient ponds, while frangipani flowers release their intoxicating fragrance into the cooling air. This is the hour when Sukhothai reveals its deepest magic, when the boundary between past and present dissolves, and you can almost hear the distant chanting of monks, the gentle bells calling the faithful to evening prayers. The kingdom flourished for 2 centuries before gradually being absorbed into the growing Ayutthaya Empire. But its legacy lived on in Thai art and culture, in the graceful Buddha images, the flowing script, the ideal of righteous kingship that King Ramkhamhaeng embodied. Sukhothai taught Thailand how to be Thai, how to blend strength with gentleness, power with compassion. Today, the ancient capital rests in peaceful ruins, its temples and palaces slowly returning to the earth that nurtured them. But the spirit of Sukhothai endures, in every Thai temple, every Buddha image, every moment of quiet contemplation beside still water. The dawn of happiness it represented continues to illuminate the Thai soul. Feel that gentle happiness settling into your own heart, the contentment that comes from witnessing human achievement at its most graceful. Sukhothai reminds us that true civilization is measured not in conquest, but in the cultivation of beauty, wisdom, and inner peace. Breathe slowly, and let the serenity of this ancient kingdom flow through you, carrying you gently toward our next destination in the timeless journey through Asia's lost wonders. Chapter 6. The Great Wall, Dragon's Spine. Breathe deeply, and let yourself soar northward through the crisp mountain air, to the rugged borderlands of ancient China, where the greatest construction project in human history snakes across mountains and valleys like a sleeping stone dragon. The Great Wall, built over centuries by countless hands, a testament to human determination stretching over 13,000 miles through some of the world's most challenging terrain. Feel the cool morning mist swirling around the watchtowers as you walk along the ancient stones. Each block beneath your feet was carried by soldiers, peasants, prisoners, all united in the monumental task of defending their civilization. The wall you see today was largely built during the Ming Dynasty, between 1368 and 1644 CE, but its origins reach back over 2,000 years, to the time of the first emperor who dreamed of an impregnable barrier. Notice how the wall follows the natural contours of the lands. Cape, rising and falling with the mountains like a great stone serpent. The builders were master engineers, choosing defensive positions that maximized visibility while minimizing construction effort. Watchtowers rise at strategic intervals, their narrow windows offering commanding views of the approaches from the north, where nomadic tribes once threatened the settled agricultural lands of China. The morning sun illuminates the weathered battlements, casting long shadows across the walkway wide enough for 5 horses to ride abreast. Imagine the soldiers who once patrolled these ramparts, wrapped in thick coats against the bitter northern winds, scanning the horizon for dust clouds that might signal approaching raiders. Their footsteps worn into the stone over centuries of vigilant duty. Listen to the wind whistling through the crenellations, carrying echoes of ancient signals. Smoke by day and fire by night could relay messages along the wall's length faster than any horse could travel. A sophisticated communication system that allowed news to travel from the frontier to the capital in a matter of hours. The wall was not just a barrier, but a vast information network spanning the empire's northern border. Walk through one of the fortress gates, feeling the massive weight of the stone arch overhead. These passages were carefully designed choke points, where even if enemies breached the outer defenses, they would find themselves trapped in killing grounds, surrounded by high walls and narrow passages that favored the defenders. Every architectural detail served the wall's protective purpose. The construction required incredible sacrifice. Historians estimate that over 1 million workers died building the wall, their bodies sometimes incorporated into the structure itself, creating what some call the longest cemetery on Earth. Yet their sacrifice created something that transcended its military purpose, a symbol of human persistence, of the lengths people will go to protect what they hold dear. From the highest watchtowers, the view stretches endlessly across the Chinese countryside. Rolling hills covered in autumn mist, ancient forests where tigers once roamed, valleys where villages nestle beside meandering streams. The wall protected not just territory, but an entire way of life, the agricultural civilization that had flourished in China for millennia. As you rest in the shelter of a watchtower, notice the intricate brickwork. Each section built by different work gangs, identifiable by subtle variations in technique and materials. Some sections used local stone, others fired brick, still others rammed earth faced with stone. The wall became a catalog of regional building techniques, unified by common purpose. The wall's military effectiveness was always debatable. Determined invaders found ways around or through it, and ultimately the Manchu conquered China despite its presence. But the wall's true power lay not in its ability to stop armies, but in its psychological impact, a visible declaration that here lived a people willing to move mountains to defend their homeland. Today, millions of visitors climb the restored sections near Beijing, marveling at this wonder of the world. But the most moving portions are the remote stretches, where the wall crumbles quietly back into the mountains, overgrown with grass and wildflowers, slowly returning to the earth that provided its materials. These forgotten sections seem most peaceful, their defensive purpose long past, their stones now home to birds and small animals. The Great Wall teaches patience, the virtue of long-term thinking, of projects that span generations. The workers who laid the first stones never saw the completed structure, yet they labored knowing their children and grandchildren would benefit from their sacrifice. This is the wall's deepest lesson, that some achievements require us to think beyond our own lifetimes. Feel the ancient stones warming in the afternoon sun, absorbing the peace that comes after struggle. The wall has found its rest, no longer needing to defend, now serving as a bridge between past and present. A reminder that human determination can indeed move mountains, one stone at a time. Breathe slowly, and let the wall's enduring strength flow into your own spirit, carrying you gently forward on our journey through the timeless wonders of ancient Asia. Chapter 7. Ayutthaya, Venice of the East. Breathe gently, and let yourself drift downstream along the meandering Chao Phraya River, to where 3 rivers converge in central Thailand, creating an island kingdom that once dazzled the world with its wealth and splendor. Ayutthaya, the Venice of the East, where golden spires reflected in countless canals, and merchants from across the globe gathered to trade in silks and spices, precious woods and gleaming treasures. Feel the gentle rocking of a royal barge as you approach the city in its golden age. The year is 1650, and before you rises one of the world's greatest capitals, home to over 1 million souls. Its hundreds of temples pierce the sky like golden needles, their prangs and chetties catching the tropical sunlight, while a maze of waterways carries boats laden with rice from the fertile central plains, the foundation of Siamese prosperity. The Wat Phra Sea Sanpet stands majestically at the heart of the royal palace, three towering chetties housing the ashes of kings. Their bell-shaped forms rise in perfect symmetry, each one a prayer in stone and brick, covered in gleaming stucco that once held real gold leaf. Notice how the Ayutthaya architects refined the Sukhothai style, creating more elaborate decorations, more dramatic proportions, reflecting the kingdom's growing wealth and confidence. Listen to the gentle splash of oars as boats navigate the klongs, the network of canals that earned Ayutthaya its comparison to Venice. Every temple, every palace, every merchant's house had its own water gate. The city lived and breathed with the rhythm of the tides, the seasonal floods that brought fertile silt and abundant fish, creating a civilization perfectly adapted to its watery environment. Walk through the ruins of Wat Mahathat, where a Buddha's head rests serenely in the embrace of Bodhi tree roots. The stone face gazes peacefully through curtains of green leaves, a perfect symbol of how nature and spirituality intertwine. This temple once housed sacred relics in its central prang, drawing pilgrims from across Southeast Asia to witness its miraculous powers. The throne hall of King Narai echoes with memories of diplomatic splendor. Here European ambassadors, Chinese mandarins, and Persian envoys gathered for audiences with the Siamese king. Ayutthaya was cosmopolitan in ways that would not be seen again until the modern era. A place where East truly met West, where Jesuit priests debated Buddhist monks, where French engineers worked alongside Thai craftsmen. Notice the distinctive Ayutthaya Buddha images, their faces serene and oval, crowned with elaborate flame like Ushnishas. These represent the classical Thai aesthetic at its peak, combining spiritual transcendence with royal magnificence. The bronze gleams softly in the filtered light, each statue a meditation on the union of earthly power and divine wisdom. The floating markets once brought the countryside to the capital, farmers paddling narrow boats loaded with mangoes and durians, orchids and jasmine, fresh fish and aromatic herbs. The air filled with the musical cadence of bargaining voices, the splash of water, the creak of wooden boats, creating a symphony of commerce that lasted from dawn to dusk. Wat Chaiwatanaram rises like a Khmer temple transplanted to Siam, its central prang surrounded by smaller towers, all reflected perfectly in the river's surface. Built by King Prasat Thong to honor his mother, it represents Ayutthaya's architectural ambitions, the desire to create monuments worthy of comparison with Angkor itself. The kingdom's wealth flowed from its strategic position, controlling the rice-rich Chao Phraya Valley, taxing trade between China and India, exporting the precious woods and exotic products that European courts craved. Ayutthaya's merchants sailed to Japan and Java, to Persia and Portugal, making their island capital a hub of international commerce. But even the mightiest kingdoms face their twilight. In 1767, Burmese armies finally breached Ayutthaya's defenses after a 14-month siege. The city burned for days, its temples looted, its population scattered. The Golden Age ended in smoke and flames, leaving only ruins to whisper of former glory. Today, the ancient capital rests peacefully beside the modern city of Ayutthaya. Its temple ruins rise from manicured lawns, their broken prangs and headless Buddhas creating a landscape of haunting beauty. UNESCO has recognized this as a World Heritage Site, preserving the remnants of a civilization that once commanded the respect of the world. The evening light transforms the ruins into something magical. Broken chetties become mysterious silhouettes. Fragment walls frame perfect views of the setting sun. This is the hour when Ayutthaya reveals its deepest truth, that beauty persists even in destruction, that grace can be found in acceptance of impermanence. Feel the profound peace that settles over these ancient stones. They have witnessed the full cycle of human ambition, the rise to greatness and the graceful return to earth. Yet in their enduring presence, there is comfort, a reminder that what truly matters, the human capacity for beauty and devotion, survives even the greatest catastrophes. Breathe slowly, and let the timeless wisdom of Ayutthaya flow through you, teaching acceptance of change, appreciation of beauty, and the deep peace that comes from understanding life's eternal rhythms. Chapter 8. Bagan. Valley of Temples. Breathe peacefully, and let yourself drift westward on warm evening winds, to the bend of the mighty Irrawaddy River in Myanmar, where the most extraordinary temple plain on earth stretches to the horizon. Bagan. Where over 10,000 Buddhist temples and pagodas rise from the dusty plains like prayers made manifest in brick and stone, a spiritual landscape that has inspired pilgrims and wanderers for nearly 1,000 years. Feel the soft sand beneath your feet as you walk among the ancient monuments. The year is 1100 CE, and you are witnessing the height of the pagan kingdom, when over 4,000 temples dotted this sacred valley, built by kings and commoners alike, each one an offering to the Buddha, a step toward enlightenment. The morning mist clings to the temple spires, creating an otherworldly atmosphere where earth and heaven seem to merge. The Ananda temple rises before you like a perfect jewel, its 4 standing Buddhas facing the cardinal directions, each one carved with exquisite precision, their faces serene and compassionate. Notice how the Bagan architects mastered the art of interior lighting, narrow windows placed to illuminate the Buddha images at specific times of day, creating moments of divine revelation as sunbeams strike the golden faces. Listen to the gentle whisper of wind through the temple corridors, carrying the faint echo of ancient chants. For centuries, monks have meditated in these halls, their prayers ascending like incense through the vaulted chambers. The acoustics are perfect, designed to carry the sound of chanting, creating a natural amplification that fills the sacred spaces with resonant harmony. Climb the narrow stairs of a viewing temple, feeling the worn brick steps beneath your hands. Generations of pilgrims have made this same journey, seeking the panoramic view that reveals Bagan's true majesty. From the upper terraces, the temple plain spreads endlessly, thousands of spires catching the golden light, creating a landscape that seems more dream than reality. The Dhammayangyi temple stands massive and mysterious, its interior passages deliberately sealed centuries ago. The largest temple in Bagan, it was built by King Nurathu as penance for his sins. Notice the incredible precision of the brickwork, joints so tight that not even a needle can slip between the blocks. This represents Burmese craftsmanship at its absolute peak. Watch the sunrise paint the temples in shades of gold and rose. Hot air balloons drift silently overhead, their passengers witnessing the same view that has amazed travelers for generations. The Irrawaddy River curves through the landscape like a silver serpent, its waters reflecting the temple spires, connecting this sacred valley to the wider world beyond. The old Bagan market area bustles with gentle activity. Lacquerware artisans continue traditions passed down through generations, their brushes creating intricate patterns on bamboo bowls and boxes. The scent of thanika, traditional face powder, mingles with frangipani flowers and incense, creating the distinctive fragrance of Myanmar that has enchanted visitors for centuries. Notice how each temple tells a different story. Some are massive and imposing, built by powerful kings to demonstrate their devotion. Others are small and intimate, constructed by ordinary families seeking merit. The diversity is breathtaking, yet all share the same essential purpose: to honor the Buddha and provide spaces for meditation and prayer. The Sulamani temple showcases the evolution of Bagan architecture, its later construction featuring more elaborate decorations, intricate stucco work, and sophisticated structural techniques. The frescoes inside depict Jataka tales, stories of the Buddha's previous lives, their colors still vibrant after 8 centuries, teaching moral lessons through beautiful art. As evening approaches, the temples take on a mystical quality. Oil lamps flicker in active shrines, while bats emerge from ancient chambers. The boundary between past and present dissolves, and you can almost see the ghostly figures of medieval pilgrims, making their devotional rounds, lighting candles, offering flowers, seeking the peace that only comes through spiritual practice. The kingdom of Bagan gradually declined, weakened by Mongol invasions and internal strife. Many temples fell into ruin, reclaimed by vegetation and weather. But the essential spirit survived. Today, Buddhist monks still chant in the ancient halls. Pilgrims still climb the sacred steps, and the temple bells still ring across the valley at dawn and dusk. Modern restoration efforts carefully preserve Bagan's heritage. UNESCO recognition has brought international support, ensuring that future generations will witness this miracle of human devotion. The temples stand as testament to the power of faith, the human need to create beauty in service of the divine. Feel the profound tranquility that emanates from these sacred stones. They have absorbed centuries of prayer and meditation, becoming repositories of spiritual energy that calms the restless mind. In their presence, worldly concerns fade away, replaced by the deep peace that comes from connecting with something greater than ourselves. Breathe slowly, and let the serenity of Bagan settle into your soul, carrying you gently forward on our journey through the timeless wonders of ancient Asia. Chapter 9. Sangshengdui, Bronze Mystery. Breathe deeply, and let yourself drift into the misty valleys of Sichuan province, where bamboo groves whisper ancient secrets and the Min River flows through fertile plains. Here lies one of archaeology's greatest mysteries, Sangshengdui, a Bronze Age civilization that flourished 3,000 years ago, creating artworks so extraordinary they seem to come from another world entirely. Feel the cool morning air as you stand before the excavation pits, where farmers digging a well in 1986 uncovered treasures that revolutionized our understanding of ancient China. Bronze masks with bulging eyes and protruding pupils, golden scepters topped with mysterious symbols, jade blades and ivory carvings that speak of a sophisticated culture completely unknown to history. The bronze masks gaze at you with otherworldly intensity. Their features are unlike anything found in traditional Chinese art. Enormous eyes that seem to see beyond the physical realm, elaborate headdresses suggesting divine or shamanic power. Some masks are life-sized, others monumentally large, as if created for giants or gods. Their green patina gleams softly in the filtered light, holding secrets we may never fully understand. Listen to the gentle rustle of bamboo as you examine the bronze sacred tree, nearly 4 meters tall when complete, its branches supporting birds and dragons, fruit and flowers. This may represent the cosmic tree that connected Earth to heaven in ancient Chinese mythology. Each detail cast with incredible precision, showing a mastery of bronze working that rivals any civilization of its time. The golden masks shine with eternal brilliance, their serene faces suggesting divine kingship or spiritual transcendence. Notice how the craftsmen worked the precious metal, hammering it into perfect symmetry, creating expressions that seem both human and supernatural. These may have adorned statues of gods or ancestors, or been worn by priest kings in sacred ceremonies we can only imagine. Walk among the jade ritual blades, their surfaces polished to mirror brightness, each one carved with geometric patterns that may encode religious or astronomical knowledge. The Sangshengdui people clearly valued jade as much as their contemporaries in other parts of China, seeing in its cool perfection a connection to the eternal and divine. The bronze standing figure commands attention, nearly 3 meters tall, wearing elaborate robes and holding what may be elephant tusks. His hands are enormous, suggesting the power to grasp cosmic forces. His feet rest on a pedestal decorated with monster masks, connecting him to the underworld. This may be a shaman king, a bridge between the human and spirit worlds. Notice how different this art is from anything found elsewhere in ancient China. While the Yellow River civilizations were creating ritual bronzes with familiar Chinese motifs, the Sangshengdui culture was developing its own unique aesthetic, one that seems to draw inspiration from realms beyond the ordinary world. Their artists saw visions we can barely comprehend. The elephant tusks and cowrie shells found here speak of far-reaching trade networks. Connections to Southeast Asia and the Indian Ocean, suggesting that Sangxingdui was part of a vast commercial web that brought exotic materials and perhaps foreign ideas to this remote valley. The civilization was cosmopolitan in ways that challenge our assumptions about ancient isolation. As you contemplate these mysterious artifacts, feel how they seem to pulse with hidden meaning. The Sangxingdui people left no written records, no explanations of their beliefs or practices. Only these extraordinary objects remain, silent witnesses to a worldview that may have been completely different from anything we know. The civilization vanished as mysteriously as it appeared. Around 1000 BCE, the site was abandoned, its treasures carefully buried in ritual pits, as if the people knew they were preserving something precious for future discovery. Climate change, invasion, or religious transformation may have ended their unique culture. Recent excavations continue to reveal new wonders. More ritual pits, more impossible artifacts, each discovery raising new questions about this enigmatic civilization. The bronze workshops, the royal palaces, the ordinary homes of the Sangxingdui people slowly emerge from the earth, painting a picture of a complex society that mastered both practical and spiritual arts. The museum displays these treasures in hushed galleries, where visitors move in reverent silence, struck by the otherworldly beauty of objects that seem to come from dreams rather than archaeological sites. The masks and figures seem almost alive, their strange eyes following viewers, their bronze lips holding secrets that time has not erased. Feel the profound mystery settling around you like evening mist. Sangxingdui reminds us how much we still don't know about our past, how many civilizations may have flourished and vanished, leaving only tantalizing glimpses of their unique visions. The bronze faces seem to smile with ancient wisdom, knowing truths we have forgotten. Breathe slowly, and let the mystery of Sangxingdui flow through your consciousness, carrying you deeper into the unknown wonders that await in our journey through Asia's lost civilizations. Chapter 10. Borobudur, Mountain of Enlightenment. Breathe gently, and let yourself drift southward across the Java Sea, to the fertile volcanic plains of central Java, where morning mist rises from rice paddies and distant volcanoes pierce the tropical sky. Here stands Borobudur, the world's largest Buddhist monument, a stone mandala rising from the earth like a mountain of enlightenment, built over 1,000 years ago as a three-dimensional guide to spiritual awakening. Feel the cool stone beneath your feet as you begin the sacred journey, starting at the base of this magnificent structure. The year is 825 CE, and you are witnessing the masterpiece of the Sailendra dynasty. Over 2 million stone blocks fitted together without mortar, creating a monument that is both architectural marvel and spiritual teaching. Each step upward represents progress toward enlightenment. The lower terraces surround you with intricate relief panels, over 2,600 individual scenes carved with exquisite detail, telling the story of the Buddha's path to enlightenment and the journey every soul must take. Notice how the ancient sculptors brought stone to life: merchants and princes, dancers and musicians, elephants and lotus flowers, all rendered with loving precision that makes the past feel present. Listen to the gentle whisper of wind through the stone corridors, as you walk the covered galleries. Following the ancient ritual of Pradaksina, clockwise circumambulation, pilgrims would spend hours studying each panel, absorbing the Buddhist teachings carved in stone. The reliefs tell stories from the Jataka tales, the Buddha's previous lives, showing how compassion and wisdom develop through countless rebirths. Climb higher to the circular terraces, where the architecture transforms from earthly narrative to cosmic geometry. Here stand 72 perforated stupas, each containing a seated Buddha in meditation. The stone ladwork filters light and shadow, creating an otherworldly atmosphere where the boundary between form and emptiness dissolves. Some Buddhas are visible through the openings, others remain hidden, symbolizing the mystery of enlightenment. The central stupa crowns the monument, originally containing a hidden Buddha figure, discovered only in modern times. This represents the ultimate goal, the state beyond form, beyond even the need for images or symbols. From here, the view encompasses the entire Kedu Plain, rice fields stretching to distant mountains, the earthly realm seen from the perspective of awakened consciousness. Notice how Borobudur embodies the Buddhist cosmos. The square base represents the earthly realm of desire. The circular terraces symbolize the realm of form. The central stupa points to the formless realm of pure spirit. Pilgrims climbing from bottom to top experience a complete spiritual education, moving from worldly concerns to transcendent wisdom. The monument was abandoned around 1000 CE, when Java's rulers converted to Hinduism and later Islam. Tropical vegetation slowly claimed the structure, trees growing from the terraces, vines covering the reliefs. For centuries, Borobudur slept beneath a green blanket, known only to local villagers who called it the Hill of 1,000 Statues. Sir Thomas Raffles rediscovered the temple in 1814, beginning a long process of restoration that continues today. UNESCO has recognized Borobudur as a World Heritage Site, ensuring its preservation for future generations. The careful cleaning revealed reliefs of breathtaking beauty, their spiritual messages as relevant today as when first carved. Dawn at Borobudur is magical. As the sun rises behind the eastern mountains, the stone Buddhas seem to glow with inner light. Pilgrims and visitors gather in respectful silence, witnessing the daily miracle of light conquering darkness. The monument becomes what its builders intended, a place where earth touches heaven. The surrounding landscape enhances the temple's spiritual power. Volcanic soil creates extraordinary fertility, supporting the rice terraces that have fed Java for millennia. The harmony between human creation and natural abundance reflects Buddhist ideals of balance and interconnection. Everything here speaks of the unity underlying apparent diversity. Modern pilgrims still follow the ancient path, climbing slowly from terrace to terrace, pausing to contemplate the stone teachings. The reliefs remain as fresh and inspiring as ever, their message of compassion and wisdom transcending cultural boundaries. Borobudur speaks to something universal in the human spirit, the longing for meaning and transcendence. Feel the profound peace that emanates from these ancient stones. They have absorbed centuries of prayer and meditation, becoming a repository of spiritual energy that calms the restless mind. The stone Buddhas sit in eternal meditation, their presence a reminder that enlightenment is always possible, always present, waiting to be discovered. The temple teaches patience, the understanding that spiritual growth happens gradually, step by step, terrace by terrace. There are no shortcuts to wisdom, only the steady practice of mindfulness and compassion. The journey itself becomes the destination, each moment of awareness a small enlightenment. Breathe slowly, and let the timeless wisdom of Borobudur settle into your consciousness. This mountain of stone points toward the mountain of spirit within, the Buddha nature that sleeps in every heart, waiting to awaken. Let that gentle awakening carry you forward, as we continue our peaceful journey through the sacred landscapes of ancient Asia. Chapter 11. The Hanging Monastery. Temple in the sky. Breathe peacefully, and let yourself drift northward through the crisp mountain air, to the dramatic gorges of Shaanxi province, where red sandstone cliffs rise like ancient walls toward heaven. Here clings one of the world's most extraordinary architectural achievements, the Hanging Monastery. Xuangkongsi, a temple that seems to float between earth and sky, defying gravity for over 1,500 years. Feel the cool morning mist swirling around the cliff face as you approach this impossible sight. The monastery appears to grow from the rock itself, wooden halls and corridors suspended on slender stilts, clinging to the vertical stone like a bird's nest. Built in 491 CE by a monk named Liao Ran, this temple represents the ultimate harmony between human ingenuity and natural landscape. Listen to the gentle creak of ancient wood as you step onto the narrow walkways. Each plank has been worn smooth by countless pilgrims and monks, their footsteps creating a patina of devotion. The structure sways almost imperceptibly in the mountain breeze, yet it has survived earthquakes, floods, and the passage of centuries, a testament to the genius of its builders. Notice how the monastery incorporates three religious traditions. Buddhist, Taoist, and Confucian elements blend seamlessly in these sacred halls. This unique synthesis reflects ancient China's philosophical tolerance, where different paths to wisdom could coexist peacefully. Statues of Buddha sit beside Taoist immortals, while Confucian sages contemplate eternal truths. The main hall houses exquisite bronze and iron statues, their faces serene despite the precarious perch. Sunlight filters through latticed windows, casting dancing shadows on the worn wooden floors. The acoustics are perfect, designed so that chanting and prayer bells carry clearly through the mountain air, creating a natural amplification that connects earth to heaven. Walk carefully along the exterior galleries, feeling the vast emptiness below. The gorge drops away dramatically, creating a sense of floating in space. This elevation served practical purposes, protecting the monastery from floods that regularly swept the valley floor, while the cliff overhang shields it from rain and snow. Nature itself becomes part of the architectural design. The ingenious construction uses a combination of techniques. Wooden beams inserted deep into the cliff face provide the primary support, while visible stilts serve mainly to ease visitors' psychological concerns. The builders understood both engineering and human nature, creating a structure that is both physically sound and emotionally reassuring. From the highest platform, the view encompasses the entire Hengshan mountain range. Sacred peaks stretch to the horizon, their slopes covered in ancient forests where hermits once sought enlightenment. The monastery becomes a meditation on perspective, showing how elevation changes not just what we see, but how we understand our place in the cosmos. The temple's library once housed precious manuscripts, Buddhi, Saint sutras, Taoist texts, Confucian classics, all preserved in this unlikely sanctuary. Scholars would climb the treacherous paths seeking rare teachings, finding in the monastery's isolation the perfect environment for deep study and contemplation. Notice the intricate woodwork throughout the structure. Carved brackets and beams display the finest craftsmanship, each joint fitted with precision that has lasted over a millennium. The wood has aged to a rich golden brown, polished by mountain winds and countless hands, becoming more beautiful with each passing century. The monastery's survival seems miraculous. Wars have raged in the valleys below, dynasties have risen and fallen, yet this fragile structure endures. Perhaps its very precariousness protects it, inspiring reverence rather than conquest, teaching visitors about the delicate balance required for all existence. Modern engineering studies confirm what ancient builders knew intuitively. The monastery's design distributes weight perfectly, while its flexibility allows it to move with natural forces rather than resist them. This becomes a metaphor for spiritual practice, finding strength through adaptability, stability through acceptance of change. Evening light transforms the cliff face into glowing amber. The monastery seems to levitate in the golden air, its windows glowing like stars. This is the hour when the temple reveals its deepest magic, when the boundary between architecture and nature dissolves, and visitors understand why monks chose this impossible perch for their devotions. The sound of temple bells drifts across the gorge, calling the faithful to evening prayers. The notes seem to hang in the thin mountain air, creating a bridge of sound between the earthbound and the eternal. In this moment, the monastery fulfills its ultimate purpose, lifting human consciousness toward the divine. Feel the profound tranquility that comes from witnessing such perfect harmony between human ambition and natural law, between spiritual aspiration and practical wisdom. The hanging monastery teaches that with sufficient faith and skill, even the impossible becomes achievable. The temple stands as proof that humans can create beauty in the most unlikely places, that devotion can overcome any obstacle, that the spiritual path often requires us to leave solid ground behind, trusting in something greater than ourselves. Breathe slowly, and let the monastery's lesson of transcendent balance settle into your spirit. Sometimes the most secure foundation is found not in solid earth, but in perfect alignment with the forces that shape our world. Let that wisdom carry you gently forward, as we continue our journey through the miraculous achievements of ancient Asia. Chapter 12. Sigiriya, Lion Rock Fortress. Breathe deeply, and let yourself drift southward to the Emerald Island of Sri Lanka, where ancient rainforests give way to rolling plains dotted with massive granite outcrops. Here rises Sigiriya, the Lion Rock, a fortress palace built atop a 200-meter monolith that seems to touch the very clouds. One of the most extraordinary royal residences ever conceived, where a king sought to create heaven on earth. Feel the warm tropical breeze as you approach this geological wonder. The year is 480 CE, and King Kashyapa has transformed this natural fortress into a palace of unimaginable beauty. Water gardens spread at the rock's base, their geometric pools and fountains creating the world's oldest surviving landscape garden. The sound of cascading water mingles with birdsong, creating a symphony of natural harmony. Begin your ascent along the ancient pathway, carved into the living rock by master craftsmen. Each step worn smooth by 15 centuries of pilgrims and visitors. Notice how the builders worked with the natural contours, creating stairs that seem to flow organically up the cliff face. The engineering is breathtaking, channels cut into stone to carry rainwater, preventing erosion and maintaining the pathway's integrity. Halfway up the rock face, you encounter the mirror wall, a surface so highly polished that visitors could see their reflections. Ancient graffiti covers this wall, poems and observations left by travelers over 1,000 years ago. Their words speak of wonder and devotion, creating a dialogue between past and present that spans millennia. The Sigiriya maidens gaze down from their gallery, frescoes painted in a natural cave that shelters them from wind and rain. These celestial beauties, with their golden skin and elaborate jewelry, represent the pinnacle of ancient Sri Lankan art. Their eyes seem alive, following visitors with mysterious smiles. Some say they are asparas, heavenly dancers. Others believe they portray the king's consorts. Continue climbing to the lion's paws, massive stone sculptures that once flanked the entrance to the upper palace. Between these paws, a stairway led through the lion's mouth to the summit. Though only the paws remain, they still convey the awesome power this entrance must have possessed. Visitors would literally enter the palace through the jaws of the king of beasts. Reach the summit plateau, where the ruins of the royal palace spread across 5 acres of leveled rock. Here King Kashyapa created his aerial paradise, throne rooms and audience halls, private chambers and meditation pavilions, all positioned to catch cooling breezes and command spectacular views. The king could survey his entire kingdom from this celestial perch. The water gardens below demonstrate hydraulic engineering of remarkable sophistication. Fountains still function during the rainy season, fed by channels carved into the rock face. Moats and pools create cooling microclimates, while their surfaces reflect the towering rock, doubling its visual impact. The gardens represent the Buddhist concept of paradise, where water, stone, and vegetation achieve perfect balance. Notice how the palace design maximized natural advantages. Cisterns carved into the rock collected rainwater, providing a secure supply even during sieges. The sheer cliffs made the fortress virtually impregnable, while the elevation provided natural air conditioning. The king's architects understood both defensive strategy and tropical comfort. The boulder gardens surrounding the rock's base contain cave temples and meditation retreats. Monks lived here before the king, and returned after his death. The natural caves provided perfect hermitages, cool and quiet, ideal for contemplation. Ancient inscriptions record donations by kings and merchants, showing how this sacred site attracted devotion across centuries. From the summit, the view encompasses the entire central plain of Sri Lanka. Ancient irrigation tanks glimmer like mirrors, their waters supporting the rice cultivation that made this civilization possible. Jungle-covered hills roll toward distant mountains, creating a landscape of extraordinary beauty that inspired the king to build his palace in the sky. King Kashyapa ruled for only 18 years before dying in battle. His palace was abandoned, gradually reclaimed by jungle and weather. But the rock itself endures, its gardens restored, its frescoes protected, its story continuing to inspire visitors from around the world. UNESCO recognition ensures this wonder will survive for future generations. The fortress teaches profound lessons about ambition and impermanence. Kashyapa created something magnificent, yet it lasted only as long as his own life. The rock remains, but the palace has returned to dust, reminding us that even the grandest human achievements are temporary, while natural beauty endures. Evening light transforms Sigiriya into something magical. The rock glows like burnished gold, while the water gardens reflect the changing sky. This is the hour when the fortress reveals its deepest beauty. When visitors understand why a king would choose this impossible perch for his earthly paradise. Feel the profound peace that comes from witnessing such perfect integration of human vision and natural wonder. Sigiriya represents the highest aspirations of civilization, the desire to create beauty, to achieve harmony with nature, to touch something eternal through earthly creation. Breathe slowly, and let the serenity of this ancient paradise settle into your consciousness, carrying you gently toward the next wonder in our timeless journey through Asia's lost civilizations. Chapter 13. Luang Prabang, City of Monasteries. Breathe gently, and let yourself drift along the sacred waters of the Mekong River, to where it meets the Nam Khan in the mountains of northern Laos. Here nestles Luang Prabang, the ancient royal capital, a city of golden temples and saffron-robed monks, where time flows as peacefully as the great river itself, and the morning alms ceremony has continued unchanged for over 6 centuries. Feel the cool mountain mist as dawn breaks over this UNESCO World Heritage City. The year is 1353, and you are witnessing the birth of the Lane Zhang Kingdom, the land of a million elephants. King Fa Num has established his capital at this sacred confluence, where Buddhist temples will multiply like lotus blossoms, creating one of Southeast Asia's most spiritual centers. Listen to the soft padding of bare feet on ancient stones, as saffron-robed monks emerge from their monasteries for the daily alms round. This ritual, called Tak Bat, has remained unchanged for generations. Young novices and elderly abbots walk in silent procession, their alms bowls reflecting the golden morning light, while devotees kneel respectfully, offering sticky rice and simple foods. The Wat Shiing Thong rises before you like a poem written in wood and gold. Its sweeping rooflines cascade in perfect harmony, reaching almost to the ground in the distinctive Luang Prabang style. Notice the intricate mosaics covering every surface, tiny pieces of colored glass creating scenes from Buddhist mythology. The tree of life spreads across the rear wall, its golden branches sheltering all beings with compassion. Walk through the royal palace, now the National Museum, where the kings of Laos once held court. The throne room preserves the Phra Bang, the sacred Buddha image that gave the city its name. This golden statue, brought from Cambodia centuries ago, embodies the spiritual authority that legitimized royal power. Its serene face has witnessed the rise and fall of dynasties. The night market along Sisavangvong Road awakens your senses. Hmong textiles display intricate patterns passed down through generations. The scent of lemongrass and galangal drifts from food stalls, while the gentle voices of vendors create a musical backdrop. This is commerce as community ritual, where buying and selling strengthen social bonds rather than merely exchange goods. Climb Mount Fusi as evening approaches. The 328 steps lead to a golden stupa crowning the sacred hill. From here, the entire city spreads below like a mandala. Temple roofs gleam in the setting sun, while the Mekong curves through the landscape like a golden serpent. This view has inspired pilgrims and poets for centuries, revealing the perfect harmony between human settlement and natural beauty. The Pak O caves across the river house thousands of Buddha images, deposited over centuries by devotees seeking merit. The limestone caverns create natural shrines, where flickering candles illuminate countless serene faces. Each statue represents a prayer, a hope, a moment of devotion preserved in bronze and wood. The caves breathe with accumulated spiritual energy. Notice how French colonial architecture blends seamlessly with traditional Lao buildings. Elegant shophouses line the streets, their shuttered windows and tiled roofs creating cool shadows. This architectural fusion reflects Luang Prabang's history, a crossroads, where different cultures met and merged without losing their essential character. The morning market beside the Mekong offers the bounty of river and forest. Fresh fish from the Great River, vegetables from mountain gardens, wild honey and forest mushrooms. The vendors, mostly women, sit cross-legged beside their wares, their faces peaceful and patient, embodying the unhurried rhythm that defines Lao life. Wat Mai's golden facade catches the afternoon light. Its five-tiered roof represents the five Buddhas of this cosmic age, while intricate carvings tell stories from the Ramayana. The temple serves as the residence of the Phra Sankarat, the supreme patriarch of Lao Buddhism, making it the spiritual heart of the nation. The Mekong itself becomes a meditation. Its brown waters carry the stories of 6 nations, flowing from Tibetan glaciers to the South China Sea. Watching the river, you understand the Buddhist teaching of impermanence. Everything flows, everything changes, yet the essential nature remains constant, like consciousness itself. Evening brings the magical hour when temple bells ring across the city. Their bronze voices call the faithful to prayer, while the last light gilds the temple roofs. Monks chant in ancient Pali, their voices creating harmonies that seem to rise from the earth itself. In these moments, Luang Prabang reveals its deepest truth, that some places exist primarily to nurture the human spirit. The city survived wars and revolutions by embracing rather than resisting change. When communists came to power, they recognized Luang Prabang's unique value, preserving its temples and traditions. Today, careful tourism brings needed income while protecting the city's essential character, proving that heritage and progress can coexist. Feel the profound tranquility that flows through these ancient streets. Luang Prabang teaches the art of mindful living, of finding the sacred in daily routine. The monk's morning walk, the evening bells, the river's eternal flow, all become opportunities for meditation and gratitude. Breathe slowly, and let the gentle wisdom of this mountain city settle into your heart, carrying you peacefully toward the next wonder in our journey through Asia's timeless treasures. Chapter 14. The Forbidden City. Imperial Palace. Breathe peacefully, and let yourself drift northward to the heart of ancient Beijing, where the most magnificent palace complex ever built spreads across 180 acres of sacred ground. The Forbidden City, Zhijiancheng, home to 24 emperors across 5 centuries, a realm so exclusive that common people could not even glimpse its golden roofs, now opening its vermilion gates to welcome you into its timeless splendor. Feel the smooth marble beneath your feet as you cross the threshold through the Meridian Gate. The year is 1420, and you are entering the completed masterpiece of Emperor Yongle. Nearly 1 million workers labored for 14 years to create this earthly representation of the celestial court. Every detail reflects the cosmic order, from the 9,999 rooms, just one short of heaven's perfection, to the precise alignment with cardinal directions. The Hall of Supreme Harmony rises before you like a golden mountain, its yellow glazed tiles gleaming in the morning sun. This is where emperors were crowned, where the Son of Heaven received tribute from vassal states. The massive hall sits on a 3-tiered marble terrace, elevating the dragon throne above all earthly concerns. Notice the intricate dragon carvings spiraling up the columns, each one a symbol of imperial power and divine mandate. Listen to your footsteps echoing across the vast courtyards, designed to hold thousands of officials during grand ceremonies. The space creates a sense of awe and insignificance, reminding all visitors of the emperor's supreme authority. Yet there is beauty in this vastness, the way morning light plays across the marble, the perfect proportions that please the eye even as they humble the spirit. Walk through the gate of heavenly purity into the inner palace, where the emperor's private life unfolded behind walls within walls. The palace of heavenly purity served as the imperial bedroom, its interior decorated with the finest silks and porcelains. Here the most powerful man on earth sought rest, surrounded by luxury yet isolated by protocol, a golden cage as much as a palace. The imperial garden offers respite from the formal grandeur. Ancient cypress trees provide cooling shade, while artificial hills and pavilions create intimate spaces for contemplation. The Pavilion of Imperial Peace sits beside a reflecting pool, its image doubled in still water. This garden taught emperors the value of harmony between human creation and natural beauty. Notice the incredible craftsmanship throughout the complex. Wooden beams fitted without nails, their joints so precise they have survived earthquakes and centuries. The paint colors follow strict hierarchies: yellow for the emperor, red for joy and celebration, green for harmony and growth. Every hue carries symbolic meaning in the imperial color code. The Hall of Mental Cultivation became the actual seat of power in later dynasties, where emperors conducted daily business behind a yellow silk screen. The Empress Dowager Cixi ruled from here for nearly 50 years, demonstrating that real authority sometimes resided in the shadows rather than on the dragon throne. The hall's intimate scale contrasts sharply with the public grandeur elsewhere. Explore the palace museum's treasures. Jade carvings that took generations to complete, porcelain so fine it seems translucent, calligraphy scrolls where emperors poured their souls onto silk. These artifacts represent the pinnacle of Chinese artistic achievement, created by master craftsmen whose entire lives were devoted to imperial service. The Meridian Gate's 5 pavilions served as the emperor's reviewing stand, where he watched military parades and received foreign ambassadors. From here, the ruler of the Middle Kingdom surveyed ceremonies that reinforced his cosmic authority. The gate's design creates perfect acoustics, allowing the emperor's voice to carry clearly across the vast courtyard below. As evening approaches, the palace takes on a mystical quality. Shadows lengthen across the marble terraces, while the golden roofs seem to glow with inner light. This is when the Forbidden City reveals its deepest magic, when visitors can almost hear the whisper of silk robes, the distant sound of court music, the echo of ceremonies that once made this the center of the world. The complex survived wars and revolutions, though not without damage. The last emperor, Puyi, was expelled in 1924, ending over 2,000 years of imperial rule. Today, millions visit annually, walking the same paths once reserved for the Son of Heaven. The palace has become truly democratic, its beauty now belonging to all humanity. Modern restoration efforts carefully preserve original techniques. Master craftsmen still mix traditional pigments, still carve replacement beams using ancient methods. The Forbidden City remains a living testament to Chinese civilization, its workshops continuing traditions that span centuries. Feel the profound dignity that emanates from these ancient halls. They have witnessed the full spectrum of human ambition, the heights of artistic achievement and the loneliness of absolute power. The palace teaches that even the mightiest empires are temporary, but beauty and craftsmanship endure. The setting sun transforms the yellow roofs into burnished gold, while shadows create mysterious depths in the courtyards. In this light, the Forbidden City achieves its ultimate purpose, becoming a bridge between earth and heaven, a place where human aspiration touches the eternal. Breathe slowly, and let the imperial serenity flow through your consciousness, carrying you gently toward the next wonder in our peaceful journey through Asia's magnificent past. Chapter 15. Hue. The purple citadel. Breathe gently, and let yourself drift southward along the perfumed waters of the Perfume River, to the ancient imperial capital of Vietnam, where the Nguyen dynasty created their own Forbidden City. Hue. The purple citadel, a realm of elegant palaces and tranquil gardens where emperors ruled for over a century, blending Chinese imperial traditions with distinctly Vietnamese grace. Feel the cool morning mist rising from the river as you approach the massive walls. The year is 1805, and Emperor Zha Long has established his capital here, choosing this site where the river curves through the landscape like a dragon. The citadel's walls stretch for 10 kilometers, enclosing a world of ceremony and contemplation, built according to feng shui principles that harmonize human ambition with natural forces. Pass through the Go Mon Gate, the Noon Gate, where only the emperor could use the central entrance. Its 5-phoenix pavilion rises gracefully above, where the ruler appeared for important ceremonies. Notice how Vietnamese architects adapted Chinese models, creating something uniquely their own. The proportions are more intimate, the decorations more delicate, reflecting a culture that valued refinement over raw power. The Tai Hua Palace, Palace of Supreme Harmony, spreads before you with understated elegance. 80 ironwood columns support the throne room, each one carved with golden dragons, but smaller and more graceful than their Chinese counterparts. The lacquered beams gleam softly in filtered light, while mother-of-pearl inlays create subtle patterns that seem to shift and dance. Listen to the gentle sound of water in the palace gardens. Lotus ponds reflect ancient pavilions, their surfaces disturbed only by the occasional fish or falling petal. The Trong San residence, where the Queen Mother lived, overlooks these peaceful waters. Its architecture perfectly balances privacy with openness, creating spaces that breathe with the rhythm of the seasons. Walk through the forbidden Purple City, the emperor's most private domain. Though damaged by war, enough remains to show its former splendor. The Reading Pavilion sits beside a small lake, where emperors studied classical texts in perfect solitude. Imagine the last emperor, Bao Dai, as a young man here, learning the weight of tradition even as the world changed around him. The royal tombs scattered along the Perfume River represent the pinnacle of Vietnamese funerary art. Emperor Minh Mang's tomb complex spreads across 47 acres, its courtyards and pavilions creating a journey from earthly concerns to spiritual transcendence. The approach by dragon boat along the river adds ceremony to contemplation, water and architecture working together to inspire reverence. Notice the distinctive Vietnamese aesthetic throughout. Colors are more muted than in Chinese palaces, reds deeper, golds softer. The decorative motifs blend Chinese dragons with Vietnamese phoenixes, lotus flowers with bamboo groves, creating a visual language that speaks of cultural synthesis rather than imitation. The Imperial Library housed one of Asia's great collections. Thousands of books and documents preserved Vietnamese history and literature. The Confucian classics sat beside Vietnamese poetry, Chinese philosophy alongside local folklore. This was a civilization that honored learning, that saw education as the foundation of good governance. During the Vietnam War, much of the citadel was damaged. The Tet Offensive of 1968 brought fierce fighting to these peaceful courtyards. Many buildings were destroyed, priceless artifacts lost, yet the essential spirit survived, and careful restoration has brought much of the complex back to life. UNESCO recognition ensures its preservation for future generations. The morning ceremony of changing the guard continues ancient traditions. Soldiers in period costume march through the courtyards, their movements precise and dignified. These rituals connect modern Vietnam to its imperial past, showing how tradition can survive even revolutionary change. From the flag tower, the view encompasses the entire city. The Perfume River curves through the landscape, its banks lined with pagodas and royal tombs. This elevated perspective reveals Hue's essential character, a city designed for contemplation, where every vista inspires reflection on the relationship between human achievement and natural beauty. The royal cuisine of Hue represents Vietnamese cooking at its most refined. Dishes created for imperial banquets required dozens of ingredients, precise preparation, artistic presentation. The tradition continues in local restaurants. where visitors can taste flavors once reserved for emperors, experiencing history through the most intimate of senses. Evening brings special magic to the citadel. Lanterns illuminate the ancient walls, while dragon boats drift silently along the river. The sound of traditional music drifts from the palace courtyards, where cultural performances recreate the elegance of imperial ceremonies. In these moments, the past feels present, the purple citadel alive with remembered glory. Feel the profound serenity that flows through these restored halls. Hugh teaches the art of graceful adaptation, of maintaining dignity through changing times. The emperors may be gone, but their vision of harmonious living endures, inspiring all who walk these peaceful paths. The citadel stands as testament to Vietnamese resilience, damaged by war yet restored by peace, its beauty emerging stronger from destruction. This becomes a metaphor for the human spirit, the capacity to rebuild, to preserve what matters most. To find hope in the darkest hours, breathe slowly, and let the gentle wisdom of the purple citadel settle into your consciousness, carrying you peacefully toward the next wonder in our journey through Asia's timeless treasures. Chapter 16. Polonnaruwa, medieval capital. Breathe peacefully, and let yourself drift back to the golden age of Sri Lanka, to the ancient plains where the Mahaweli River nourishes emerald rice fields. Here lies Polonnaruwa, the medieval capital that flourished for 3 centuries, where Sinhalese kings created a civilization of extraordinary beauty, blending Buddhist devotion with architectural mastery in perfect harmony. Feel the warm morning sun on the ancient stones as you walk through the royal palace complex. The year is 1200 CE, and you are witnessing the reign of King Parakramabahu the Great, whose vision transformed this city into one of Asia's most magnificent capitals. 7 stories once rose here, though only the massive brick foundations remain, their scale suggesting palaces that rivaled any in the medieval world. The Gal Vihara stands before you like a meditation carved in stone. 4 Buddha images emerge from a single granite outcrop, each one representing a different aspect of enlightenment. The standing Buddha, 14 meters tall, gazes serenely across the ancient city, while the reclining Buddha prepares for final nirvana, his peaceful expression teaching acceptance of life's ultimate transition. Listen to the gentle whisper of wind through the ruins of the Lankatyalaka temple. Its towering brick walls once sheltered a colossal Buddha image, though the roof has long since fallen, leaving the statue open to sky and stars. The remaining walls frame the figure perfectly, creating a natural shrine where earth meets heaven. The acoustics still carry chanted prayers across centuries. Walk beside the Parakrama Samudra, the Sea of Parakrama, a vast reservoir that demonstrates the hydraulic genius of ancient Sri Lanka. This artificial lake stretches to the horizon, its waters supporting thousands of acres of rice cultivation. King Parakramabahu declared that not a drop of rainwater should reach the sea without serving humanity, and his engineers made that vision reality. The quadrangle, or Dalada Malua, contains the most sacred monuments. The Vedadij, a circular relic house, protects ancient stupas with its graceful stone pillars. Moonstone carvings at the entrances depict the cycle of existence: elephants representing birth, horses symbolizing old age, lions showing disease, and lotus flowers promising enlightenment beyond suffering. Notice the exquisite stone carvings throughout the complex. The lotus bath displays perfect craftsmanship, its 8-petaled design carved from solid granite. Royal bathing pools become works of art, showing how even practical structures served aesthetic purposes. Every surface tells stories: guardian figures, celestial dancers, mythical beasts protecting sacred spaces. The Rangkot Vihara rises like a mountain of devotion, the largest stupa built during the Polonnaruwa period. Its bell-shaped dome follows classical proportions, while the surrounding terraces create spaces for circumambulation. Pilgrims would walk clockwise around the monument, their prayers ascending with each step, the physical journey becoming spiritual practice. From the audience hall, imagine King Parakramabahu holding court. The stone lion throne still commands the chamber, its carved figures representing royal authority. Carved elephants support the structure, their strength symbolizing the kingdom's power. Ministers and foreign ambassadors once gathered here, conducting diplomacy in halls designed to inspire awe and respect. The ancient hospital ruins reveal sophisticated medical knowledge. Stone troughs once held herbal medicines, while surgical instruments of bronze and iron demonstrate advanced healing arts. Buddhist compassion extended to physical as well as spiritual welfare, making healthcare a royal responsibility rather than private privilege. Evening light transforms the ruins into something magical. The red brick glows like burnished copper, while shadows create mysterious depths in doorways and corridors. This is when Polonnaruwa reveals its deepest beauty, when visitors understand why medieval travelers called it one of the wonders of the world. The city's decline came gradually. Climate change reduced rainfall, making the great irrigation systems less effective. Tamil invasions from South India weakened royal authority. By 1300, the capital had moved south, leaving Polonnaruwa to jungle and time. Vines covered the palaces, trees grew through temple roofs, creating the romantic ruins visitors see today. Modern restoration carefully balances preservation with accessibility. UNESCO recognition brought international support, ensuring these treasures survive for future generations. Archaeological work continues revealing new insights, showing how this medieval civilization achieved remarkable prosperity through wise resource management and cultural tolerance. The ancient city teaches profound lessons about sustainability. The irrigation systems worked with natural water cycles rather than against them. Architecture used local materials and traditional techniques, creating buildings that aged gracefully. The kings understood that true wealth comes from harmony between human needs and environmental limits. Feel the deep tranquility that emanates from these ancient stones. They have absorbed centuries of prayer and meditation, becoming repositories of spiritual energy that calm the restless mind. The Buddha images continue their eternal teaching, their stone faces radiating compassion across the centuries. Polonnaruwa reminds us that civilizations flourish when they balance material progress with spiritual values, when kings serve their people rather than themselves, when architecture serves both practical needs and aesthetic aspirations. The ruins stand as testament to what humans can achieve when wisdom guides ambition. Breathe slowly, and let the medieval serenity of Polonnaruwa settle into your soul, carrying you gently toward the next wonder in our peaceful journey through Asia's lost civilizations. Chapter 17. The Summer Palace, Imperial Garden. Breathe gently, and let yourself drift to the northwestern outskirts of Beijing, where Kunming Lake mirrors the sky like polished jade. Here lies the Summer Palace, Yihayuan, the garden of nurtured harmony, where Chinese emperors escaped the forbidden city's formality to find peace among artificial hills and meandering waterways, a masterpiece of landscape design that transforms nature into living art. Feel the cool morning breeze across the lake as you walk along the marble shoreline. The year is 1750, and Emperor Qianlong has created his vision of earthly paradise. Longevity Hill rises gracefully from the water, its slopes covered with pavilions and temples that seem to grow naturally from the landscape. Every view has been carefully composed, each pathway designed to reveal new vistas of breathtaking beauty. The long corridor stretches before you like a covered bridge through time. 728 meters of painted galleries connecting the lake pavilions. Over 14,000 paintings decorate the ceiling beams, depicting scenes from Chinese literature and mythology. Walk slowly beneath these masterpieces, feeling how the corridor frames the lake views while protecting visitors from sun and rain. A perfect marriage of function and beauty. Listen to the gentle lapping of water against the marble boat. Empress Dowager Cixi's extravagant folly that symbolized her reign's excesses. Built with funds intended for the imperial navy, this stone vessel that could never sail became a metaphor for imperial decline. Yet its craftsmanship remains exquisite, every detail carved with precision that transforms political irony into artistic achievement. Climb Longevity Hill to the Tower of Buddhist Incense, its octagonal form rising majestically above the lake. From here, the entire garden spreads below like a three-dimensional painting. The lake's islands connected by elegant bridges, the distant western hills providing natural backdrop. This elevated perspective reveals the garden's essential genius, how human design enhances rather than dominates natural beauty. The 17-arch bridge spans the lake like a stone rainbow, its reflection creating perfect circles in the still water. Each arch differs slightly in size, creating subtle rhythm that pleases the eye. During winter, when the lake freezes, locals skate beneath these ancient arches, connecting past and present through the simple joy of movement. Notice how the garden incorporates borrowed scenery. Distant mountains become part of the composition, their peaks carefully framed by pavilion windows and garden gates. This technique, called jijing, shows Chinese landscape philosophy at its most sophisticated, recognizing that true beauty cannot be contained, only appreciated through proper viewing. The Garden of Virtue and Harmony houses the Imperial Theater, where Peking opera performances entertained the court. 3-story stages allowed elaborate productions with flying gods and supernatural effects. The Empress Dowager watched from her private box, surrounded by luxury while artists below created magic through ancient stories and stylized movement. Walk through the Suzhou Street, a commercial district recreated within the palace grounds. Shops and restaurants line artificial canals, allowing the imperial family to experience merchant life without leaving their protected realm. This miniature city shows how the wealthy romanticized common life, creating sanitized versions of experiences they would never truly share. The Hall of Jade Ripples served as Emperor Guangxu's residence during his house arrest. After his failed reforms, the Empress Dowager confined him here. The beautiful name contrasts sharply with its function as a gilded prison. The hall's windows face the lake, offering views of freedom the emperor could never reach. Evening brings magical transformations to the summer palace. Sunset paints the lake in shades of gold and rose, while temple bells ring across the water. The artificial becomes natural, the design spontaneous. In this light, visitors understand why emperors preferred this retreat to the Forbidden City's formal grandeur. The garden survived wars and revolutions through careful restoration. Foreign troops looted treasures during the Boxer Rebellion, but the essential structure endured. Today, UNESCO protection ensures its preservation, while millions of visitors annually experience the tranquility Chinese emperors once claimed as their exclusive privilege. Modern Beijing surrounds the palace, but within its walls, time moves differently. The lake still mirrors changing skies, pavilions still frame perfect views. The garden teaches that true luxury lies not in possessions but in harmony, not in control but in appreciation of beauty. The Summer Palace represents Chinese garden art at its pinnacle. Every element serves both practical and aesthetic purposes. Bridges provide passage while creating reflections. Hills offer elevation while blocking harsh winds. Water cools the air while reflecting architectural beauty. This integration of function and form creates spaces that nourish both body and spirit. Feel the profound serenity that flows through these designed landscapes. They represent humanity's highest aspiration, the creation of environments that inspire contemplation and joy. The emperors may be gone, but their vision of harmonious living continues to offer refuge from the modern world's complexity. Breathe slowly, and let the garden's peaceful wisdom settle into your consciousness, teaching the art of finding paradise not in distant places but in mindful appreciation of beauty wherever it appears. Let that gentle understanding carry you forward, as we continue our tranquil journey through Asia's timeless wonders. Chapter 18. Prambanan. Hindu Jewel. Breathe deeply, and let yourself drift across the fertile plains of central Java, where ancient volcanoes have blessed the earth with rich soil. Here rises Prambanan, the largest Hindu temple complex in Indonesia, A symphony of stone spires reaching toward the tropical sky like prayers made manifest, built in the 9th century when Hindu and Buddhist kingdoms flourished side by side in perfect harmony. Feel the warm morning sun on the weathered stones as you approach the central temple. Dedicated to Shiva the Destroyer, this magnificent structure soars 47 meters into the blue sky, its pointed crown decorated with intricate carvings that seem to dance in the shifting light. The Sailendra and Sanjaya dynasties competed in devotion, creating architectural masterpieces that transformed religious fervor into enduring beauty. Listen to the gentle rustle of frangipani leaves as you walk the temple grounds. Over 240 structures once filled this sacred complex, though earthquakes and time have claimed many. The three main temples honor the Hindu trinity, Shiva in the center, flanked by Vishnu the preserver and Brahma the creator. Each one a masterpiece of proportion and decoration that demonstrates medieval Java's artistic sophistication. Notice the exquisite relief panels covering every surface. The Ramayana epic unfolds in stone around Shiva's temple, Prince Rama's quest to rescue Sita told through hundreds of carved scenes. Each panel flows seamlessly into the next, creating a visual narrative that pilgrims could follow while circumambulating the sacred structure. The stone figures seem alive, their expressions capturing every emotion of the ancient story. Climb the steep stairs to the temple chambers, where massive statues of the gods once received daily offerings. The Shiva Mahadeva image, nearly 3 meters tall, embodies divine power in human form. Though damaged by earthquakes, the statue retains its spiritual presence, its serene face radiating the transcendent calm that comes from perfect understanding of cosmic forces. The smaller temples surrounding the main structures housed guardian deities and sacred vehicles. Nandi, Shiva's bull, sits eternally patient in his dedicated shrine, while Garuda, Vishnu's eagle mount, spreads stone wings in perpetual flight. These supporting temples create a complete cosmic mandala, representing the Hindu universe in architectural form. Walk among the Purwara temples, 224 smaller shrines arranged in 4 concentric rows. Most lie in ruins now, their stones scattered by centuries of earthquakes. Yet their original pattern remains visible, showing how the entire complex functioned as a 3-dimensional representation of Mount Meru, the cosmic mountain at the center of Hindu cosmology. The temple builders demonstrated extraordinary engineering skills, each stone precisely cut and fitted without mortar. The structures flex with seismic activity rather than resist it, allowing many to survive Java's frequent earthquakes. This wisdom, born from living with geological instability, created architecture that endures through natural disasters. As afternoon light slants across the temple walls, the relief carvings come alive with shadow and highlight. Celestial dancers, asparas, seem to move in their stone niches, while guardian figures maintain eternal watch over sacred doorways. The play of light transforms static sculpture into dynamic art, revealing new details with each passing hour. The Prambanan complex reflects the cosmopolitan nature of medieval Java. Hindu temples built by Buddhist kings. Islamic influences creeping into later decorations. This religious tolerance created a unique cultural synthesis, where different spiritual traditions enriched rather than threatened each other. The temples stand as monuments to pluralistic wisdom. Dutch colonial scholars rediscovered Prambanan in the 19th century, finding the temples buried under volcanic ash and tropical vegetation. Careful restoration has returned much of the complex to its former glory, though the work continues. Each stone cleaned and catalogued, each relief panel documented and preserved for future generations. Modern performances of the Ramayana take place against the temple backdrop. Dancers in elaborate costumes reenact the ancient epic where it was first carved in stone. The temple becomes a living stage, connecting contemporary audiences with their cultural heritage, proving that great art transcends temporal boundaries. The temple complex teaches profound lessons about impermanence and renewal. Earthquakes have toppled spires, yet restoration raises them again. Vegetation claims abandoned structures, yet human care reclaims them. This cycle of destruction and rebuilding mirrors the Hindu concept of cosmic time, where creation and dissolution dance in eternal rhythm. Evening brings special magic to Prambanan. The setting sun ignites the volcanic stone, transforming the temples into golden flames. This is when the complex reveals its deepest purpose, not merely as architecture but as a bridge between earthly and divine realms. The spires point toward heaven while their foundations rest firmly on sacred earth. Feel the profound spirituality that emanates from these ancient stones. They have absorbed centuries of prayer and devotion, becoming repositories of sacred energy that transcends religious boundaries. Hindu, Buddhist, or secular visitors all find peace in the temple's harmonious proportions and timeless beauty. Breathe slowly, and let the serenity of Prambanan settle into your spirit. This Hindu jewel in the heart of Muslim Indonesia reminds us that true beauty belongs to all humanity, that devotion creates art that speaks across cultures and centuries. Let that universal message carry you gently forward, as we near the end of our peaceful journey through Asia's magnificent lost civilizations. Chapter 19. Pyu City-States. Ancient Burma. Breathe gently, and let yourself drift through the mists of time to the ancient Irrawaddy River Valley, where the first great civilization of Myanmar flourished in peaceful prosperity. The Pyu City-States, mysterious kingdoms that ruled central Burma for over 1,000 years, creating a Buddhist paradise where art and spirituality bloomed like lotus flowers in the fertile plains. Feel the warm morning breeze as you walk through the ruins of Sri Ksetra, the largest Pyu capital. The year is 650 CE, and you are witnessing a civilization at its zenith. Massive brick walls stretch for 18 kilometers, enclosing a city of perhaps 50,000 souls. The Pyu people have created something remarkable, a society based on Buddhist principles of compassion and non-violence, where trade flourishes and culture thrives. Listen to the gentle chanting that once echoed from hundreds of monasteries. The Pyu were among the earliest converts to Buddhism in Southeast Asia. Their cities centered around magnificent stupas and temples, creating urban landscapes designed for spiritual contemplation. Notice how the architecture blends Indian Buddhist traditions with local innovations, creating a distinctly Burmese aesthetic that would influence temple building for centuries. The palace ruins whisper of elegant court life, where Pyu kings ruled with Buddhist wisdom rather than military might. Chinese chronicles describe these rulers as gentle and cultured, more interested in poetry than conquest. The throne halls were built of wood and have long since vanished, but their stone foundations suggest structures of graceful proportions, designed for ceremony rather than intimidation. Walk among the ancient stupas that dot the landscape like stone mountains. The Babagwi Pagoda rises majestically, its cylindrical form topped by a graceful spire. This design became the template for countless Burmese pagodas, its proportions achieving perfect harmony between earth and sky. Pilgrims still visit these ancient monuments, their prayers connecting past and present in unbroken devotion. The Pyu mastered the art of urban planning. Their cities featured sophisticated water management systems. Moats and canals not only provided defense but created cooling microclimates. The sound of flowing water was everywhere, fountains in palace courtyards, streams through monastery gardens, creating the gentle symphony that defined Pyu civilization. Notice the exquisite silver and gold artifacts discovered in royal tombs. Delicate jewelry, ceremonial vessels, Buddhist ritual objects crafted with incredible skill. The Pyu were master metalworkers, their techniques influencing later Burmese craftsmanship. Each piece reflects their aesthetic values, elegance over ostentation, spiritual meaning over mere decoration. The city walls enclosed not just palaces and temples but entire agricultural communities. Rice fields within the fortifications ensured food security during uncertain times. This integration of urban and rural life created sustainable communities that prospered for centuries. The PYU understood that true security came from self-sufficiency rather than military conquest. Ancient inscriptions reveal the PYU language, written in a script derived from Indian Brahmi. These stone records document donations to monasteries, royal genealogies, Buddhist teachings. They show a literate society that valued learning and preserved knowledge. The inscriptions are among Myanmar's oldest written records, connecting modern Burma to its ancient roots. The PYU traded extensively throughout Southeast Asia. Their strategic position on the Irrawaddy River made them natural intermediaries. Goods from China flowed south through PYU ports, while Indian Ocean products traveled north. This commerce brought wealth but also cultural exchange, making PYU cities cosmopolitan centers where different traditions merged peacefully. As evening light bathes the ancient ruins, you can almost see the PYU capital as it once was. Monks in saffron robes walking between temples, merchants displaying silk and precious stones, children playing in monastery courtyards. The civilization declined gradually, absorbed into later Burmese kingdoms, but its influence shaped Myanmar's cultural DNA. The PYU legacy lives on in modern Myanmar. Their architectural innovations, their Buddhist devotion, their artistic traditions all flow into contemporary Burmese culture. The great pagodas of Bagan follow PYU prototypes, while traditional crafts maintain techniques perfected over a millennium ago. Modern archaeology continues revealing PYU secrets. Excavations at Halen, Baekthano, and other sites uncover new insights into this peaceful civilization. UNESCO recognition protects these ancient cities, ensuring their stories survive for future generations. The PYU remind us that power can be gentle, that civilization can flourish without conquest. Feel the profound tranquility that flows from these ancient sites. The PYU achieved something rare in human history, a society based on Buddhist principles of compassion and wisdom. Their cities were designed for contemplation rather than conflict. Their art created for spiritual elevation rather than political propaganda. The ruins teach timeless lessons about sustainable living. The PYU worked with natural systems rather than against them. Their cities enhanced the landscape rather than dominating it. This harmony between human needs and environmental limits created prosperity that lasted centuries. Breathe slowly, and let the gentle wisdom of the PYU settle into your consciousness. Their civilization shows that true strength comes from inner peace, that lasting achievement flows from spiritual rather than material values. Let that peaceful understanding carry you toward our final destination, as we complete our tranquil journey through Asia's lost wonders. Chapter 20. The Legacy. Wisdom of the East. Breathe deeply, and let yourself drift through the gentle currents of time, as our journey through Asia's lost civilizations draws to its peaceful close. Feel how each wonder we have visited has left its mark upon your spirit, from Angkor's stone prayers to the Terracotta Army's silent vigil, from Mohenjo-Daro's perfect planning to Borobudar's mountain of enlightenment. All these treasures now live within your consciousness, their ancient wisdom flowing like a quiet river through your dreams. Listen to the whispered teachings that echo across millennia. The master builders of Sukhothai showing us that true happiness comes from harmony with nature. The engineers of the Great Wall demonstrating that great achievements require patience and collective effort. The artists of Sangshengdui revealing that mystery and wonder are essential to the human spirit. Each civilization offers its unique gift to the eternal conversation between past and present. Feel the profound peace that connects all these sacred places. Whether Buddhist temples rising from Burmese plains, Hindu spires reaching toward Javanese skies, or Confucian palaces reflecting cosmic order, all share the same essential truth: that humans possess an irrepressible urge to create beauty, to touch the divine through earthly works, to leave something meaningful for future generations. Notice how water flows through every story. The Mekong nourishing Luang Prabang's monasteries, the Perfume River reflecting Hugh's imperial grace, the Irrawaddy sustaining Pyu city-states. Ancient Asia understood that civilization flourishes where water and wisdom meet, where practical needs merge with spiritual aspirations. The sound of flowing streams becomes the soundtrack of human progress. The legacy of these lost worlds lives on in countless ways. In the gentle smile of Thai Buddha images, inherited from Sukhotai's artists. In the sophisticated water management still used across monsoon Asia, learned from Sinhalese kings and Khmer engineers. In the architectural principles that guide temple builders from Myanmar to Java, passed down through generations of devoted craftsmen. Walk once more through the ruins of Ayutthaya, feeling how beauty persists even in destruction. The broken prangs and headless Buddhas teach acceptance of impermanence, while their enduring grace proves that true art transcends temporal boundaries. This becomes the deepest lesson of our journey, that what matters most, the human capacity for wonder and devotion, survives even the greatest catastrophes. The morning mist that shrouds Bagan's temple plain carries the prayers of countless pilgrims, their devotions adding to the spiritual atmosphere that makes these places sacred. You too have become part of this eternal pilgrimage, your peaceful presence joining the river of consciousness that flows through these ancient sites, connecting all seekers across time and space. Modern Asia builds upon foundations laid by these vanished kingdoms. The tolerance that allowed Hindu temples in Buddhist lands, the engineering wisdom that moved mountains and redirected rivers, the artistic vision that saw divinity in stone and bronze. These gifts from the past illuminate paths toward a more harmonious future. Feel how the journey has changed you. The frantic pace of modern life seems distant now, replaced by the measured rhythm of temple bells and flowing water. You have learned to see with ancient eyes, to value permanence over novelty, depth over surface. The wisdom of the East has become part of your inner landscape. The Hanging Monastery teaches that with faith and skill, even the impossible becomes achievable. Sigiriya shows how human vision can transform natural wonders into works of art. The Forbidden City demonstrates that true power lies in creating beauty rather than destruction. Each site offers its unique perspective on the eternal questions that define human existence. As twilight settles over our imagined journey, the golden light that illuminates Hampi's ruins also touches your spirit. The ancient stones seem to pulse with accumulated wisdom, their silence more eloquent than any words. In this peaceful moment, you understand that the greatest treasures are not gold or jewels, but the insights that transform how we see the world. The legacy of Asia's lost civilizations flows like an underground river, sometimes hidden but never truly gone, surfacing in unexpected moments of beauty, in acts of compassion, in the human impulse to create rather than destroy. You carry this legacy forward now, a guardian of ancient wisdom in a modern world? Breathe slowly and feel yours. Elf returning to the present moment, enriched by your journey through time. The lost civilizations live on in your memory, their lessons integrated into your understanding, their peace becoming part of your inner sanctuary. Let this gentle awakening carry you back to your own time and place, knowing that whenever you need refuge from the world's complexity, these ancient sanctuaries await in the quiet chambers of your mind, their timeless wisdom forever yours to explore. The journey ends, but the wisdom remains eternal, and so our gentle journey through the lost civilizations of ancient Asia draws to its peaceful close. As you rest in this moment of perfect tranquility, let the wisdom of 20 magnificent cultures settle deep into your consciousness, each one a luminous jewel in the crown of human achievement, their combined legacy flowing through your dreams like the sacred rivers that nourished their ancient glory. Feel how each civilization has touched your spirit with its unique gift. Angkor Wat's stone prayers reaching toward eternity, teaching us that devotion can move mountains and create wonders that outlast empires. The terracotta army standing in silent formation, showing how dedication and craftsmanship can achieve immortality through art. Mohenjo-Daro's perfect streets and sophisticated drainage, proving that true civilization serves the common good rather than individual glory. Breathe deeply, and remember Sukhotai's dawn of happiness, where Buddhist wisdom created a kingdom of peace and prosperity. The Great Wall snaking across impossible terrain, demonstrating that collective will can overcome any obstacle. Ayutthaya's golden spires reflected in countless canals, teaching us to find beauty in the marriage of human vision and natural grace. Let your breathing slow as you recall Bagan's temple plain, where 10,000 monuments rise like prayers made manifest. Sangshengdui's mysterious bronze masks gazing across millennia with otherworldly wisdom. Borobuder's mountain of enlightenment, guiding pilgrims step by step toward spiritual awakening. Each step upward, each breath